Up against Zhu Yuling on the table. Errol Creary alongside Michael Anderson, the technical director of Hautzek World Championships 2018. And Michael, it's a big question as to who will go ahead and meet Ding Ning in the final. Who's your money on?
Well, if I would be a betting man, then I think Li Xuan looked so sharp yesterday in her match, and so focused from the very beginning, and she was here on a mission, I think, and that is to take revenge maybe from 2015 in the World Championships when she had a big lead in the final and all of that. But she has to negotiate Zhu Yuling, who played a very slow match against Chen Meng. Again, two players who knew each other very well in the quarterfinal and finally came out on top. Hard to say whether she will be fast enough, I would say, in this match, but on the world rank number 3, there's not much difference, but still we have a proven winner, I would say, on one side, and still Zhu Yuling there to make a mark. So it all depends how they approach this match.
Well, we've seen this year a touch of complacency just set into Li Xuan of China. Some of the younger players have beaten her. We've seen that this year. Wang Manyu, Sun Ying and Chen have all given her so many problems this year, but she knows that she's going to have to be very solid and very steady very early against a player that she knows very well on the tour.
But it's such a big difference also to play this match here in the World Championship Center Court. So many spectators, all the expectations, all the media pressure, all of that, and rather to lose to them in the Chinese Super League or matches of that nature. But Zhu Yuling, for her, you know, can she keep the table? Is she good enough from middle, I would say, where Li Xuan is going to fire some bullets? So is she fast enough? That's my only question here.
So we know that the former world ranked number 1, Li Xuan, is in a good place right now with regard to her form coming into this encounter. In a very steady route to today's semi-final encounter. Ding Ning ready back perhaps in the locker room, or even having perhaps a spot of lunch where she knows that she will be in a situation to go for gold. So who will be joining her? So again, it will be an all-Chinese battle for the gold. Whatever happens here, a medal will be handed out to the loser, irrespective as to what happens. So world ranked number 2 against world ranked number 3. Eyes down, good to go. Women's singles semi-final number 2.
Of course, Li Xuan, similar style to Chen Meng yesterday, standing close to the table, working that backhand, trying to move Zhu Yuling around and trying to find her in the forehand pocket and playing a lot of backhands to the middle. So she managed to do that yesterday quite well. For her, she needs to really think spin, variation, good control on her first attacks.
Good start this from Zhu Yuling. A real feather in her hat as she could get through to the final. Of course, we know that she was a reserve player at the Rio Olympics last year. 22 years of age, still looking to climb up that ladder to success and try and get herself higher up amongst the other Chinese players. Oh, right into the body. Good tactic. Took that nice and early as well. Well, she may be the underdog, but she started out very well here, taking the game to Li Xuwen. We can hear it in the crowd. Both players have their little pockets of supporters, just emptied out slightly from some of the earlier matches here today. Reliably informed again, as mentioned in the introduction, we are sold out from today and all the way up until the final day here.
It's an incredible long day to watch table tennis, so I'm guessing that some of the spectators pick their spots and take a bit of a break, because tonight there's fireworks coming with Timo Boll and all these guys coming in the evening session. So far getting paid good money on good serves, if that's the correct way to put it.
Oh, it's a better rally, but Zhu again. Victoria's player there getting the point. Well, you asked her to play fast, and that's exactly what we're getting from her. We've been served up a very solid performance from Zhu so far.
In the long run, that's Li Xuwen's weapon, to keep it going, you know, keep the pressure on, so safe, putting the pressure to the middle exactly like that, and to struggle in the end, although she did well to reach the 5th or 6th time she was hitting the ball.
Better forehand this time. More muscular, you could say, on that forehand. And if she is to lose this game, it's so important that she manages just to brush off the dust, shake off the cobwebs, and get herself good to go at the start of game 2 here, Li Xuwen. Well, she's just beginning to turn up the heat now.
Well-placed serve, setting up to be attacked on backhand side, and then just pushing it diagonal cross with a lot of pace and push.
Doing the right thing here, I believe, Zhu. Just taking her time, just trying to break up the rhythm here of her opponent. And for a calm head as early as it is in the match, first game certainly looked to be there for the taking for her. Well, it's not quite there yet. 2 points now, the deficit. great rally. Opened up the table, pulled her opponent out wide. Look at the situation now, just 1 point in it.
Quite interesting. She had in the match yesterday with Chen Meng, and actually an early timeout. This is very interesting because she had a match with Chen Meng. In the end, some sort of decision making that was quite interesting, and one of the serves was the serve she did before. Side overspin, quick one. Just didn't throw it up very much, but sure, seems like she has a set play when it becomes closer.
And where are the coaches? Both the seats were empty.
They're empty because China against China tradition in table tennis. You don't really put your coaches against, let the players sort it out. And that puts also added pressure, of course, on decision making. Some players may like it. Today it's more of a relaxed coaching rule. You can coach all the time now at the table. The coaches can be interactive. They can interact with the players. There's no more rule about silence or anything like that. So some players like it. These two, I'm sure, have played many times in the practice hall. Situations like this.
Well, she was on serve fresh after the timeout.
It's almost like she knew that one was coming, so she stepped into the middle, and then Li Xuan was ready for that particular serve.
4 game points have disappeared here for Zhu. Incredible sequence of events here for the 2 seed. Wound up that forehand, and that was never coming back.
Excellent bite in that serve. Just tricked Zhu Yuling with the spin and the placement. And got that ball over the table and then just attacked for a winner.
Oh, what a rally and what a response here from Li Xuan of China. Down and out in the opening game. He's just reeled off point after point after point, and what a start here to our second semi-final. Well, we didn't see that coming.
No, it was Zhu Yuling's game, and the danger here now, it's you lose a game like that when you had the lead. You had 6-1, you played very well in the beginning, you got a good result on your service, and what a sharpness from Li Xuan in the end, where Zhu Yuling struggled a bit with what service to take and so on, and pulled up a few things, almost predetermined. That one there, and then she's right there with the racket, aggressive, and then from that point controlling the pace and the placements.
Well, you have to wonder, and you just mentioned it, what it's going to do to the mindset now of Zhu Yuling. It's a big test for her already now after really starting brilliantly and just had a touch of doubt in the end, but you have to admit that Li Xuan certainly played a lot better the longer and longer that game went on. Won the big points. Reacted quickly as well after the timeout called by her opponent. So the number 2 seed here, 26 years of age, has the first game done and dusted, and about to start here in the second. So big opportunity now for Li Xuan to kick on. We saw what Ding Ning did once she started well, once she got the first game, even the second game as well. Didn't take her foot off the gas at all.
I think all for Zhu Yuling that she needs to be extremely active with her backhand openings. There has to be such a good quality, and spin needs to be there, and placement as well. So because otherwise she gets caught in that pounding backhand game that Li Xuan is showing sometimes. You know, spraying the ball around the table with backhand, and she just struggles step by step, not being able to keep pace.
Oh, cheeky serve.
We ticked the box of a service ace.
Well, indeed, how about that? That's the first I've seen all week, in fact.
But she's a clever, crafty player, Chu Yuling. She has a lot of tricks up in her sleeve.
Well, she had to spend that entire rally just defending. And Liu Shiwen just kept plugging and plugging away until she got the point.
You can watch the difference also where they hit the ball, and it's almost Liu Shiwen is so good at that, taking it perfect on the upper bounce and just putting so much pressure while Chu Yuling struggles a bit with the distance, has to save the ball sometimes and not able to keep pace.
It's high octane, it's high quality, and it's exactly what we expected to see from two Chinese players with nothing to choose between them in the rankings table.
And she was quite happy there, Chu Yuling. She acknowledged that she played that rally quite well.
The interesting feature is that it's Liu Shiwen who just seems to be coming out on top now in these good rallies. Wasn't like that in the first 6-7 points in the first game.
She took some time to get into, as I say, the distance to the tables and your work area for footwork and to execute your technique. You always have to get going, but she's improved and controlling the pace of play now.
Another crafty serve that one was. Not an ace this time. Good enough. Well, we saw it in the first semi-final. The lower-ranked player has to start well, maintain those standards throughout the match. Now, Zhu's did in the first game. Got to find a way just to get herself parity here at 8 points apiece and then go from there. Really should have wrapped up that opening game. She didn't. Can ill afford to go 2 games down here. It's their fellow Chinese.
A few moments of hesitation, also she's trying to laugh it off. Just mishit that ball, and that doesn't happen too often. Liu Shiwen, perfect technique almost over the table. Doesn't do many mistakes at all. Better touch into that ball, Juling. Actually, a very good return. Nicely touched, cut down to the backhand. Was ready where the ball is. She thought the ball was going to come to forehand, and then it was executed.
It's a critical stage now of the game at 8 points each. Get this and tie it up here, Zhu. Well, I believe she can go on to better things.
A bit of a comeback from the player in black.
Well, there haven't been too many winners struck from her. She's just played solid table tennis, really. Made sure that the ball keeps coming back. And there she is now from being behind ahead. 1 point and still a service point to go. Oh, back comes Liu again.
You see there where she exactly doesn't want to get caught to the middle, and it's so very hard to start opening up to go more forehand, and Li Xuan finds that again. So it's all about reading that placement of the ball very quickly.
Oh, it's a big miss. Big miss. Looking to pull the trigger this time, Liu Xuan. Perhaps that wasn't the best option. She knows it. She's got a wry smile on her face. More importantly here, she's about to face game point. Oh, there it is. Great turnaround here from Zhu Yuling. Really and badly needed to take that game. Well, game on here. 1-1 here between Zhu and Liu. So still all to play for here in our second semi-final. Managing to put that game on the board in her favour. So there's still plenty of action to get through here. Day 6 in Düsseldorf. And of course, if you are a table tennis enthusiast, if you do miss any of the action, you know where to go to catch up. The official ITTF website, of course, and hashtag ITTF Worlds 2017. You can also help yourself to join in a conversation with everybody concerned at the ITTF as well. I have a man next to me who will be very heavily involved in the technicalities of the World Championships next year in Halmstad. So pop a question towards Michael Anderson. Anything you want to do, just hashtag ask a commentator as well. So it's balanced on a knife edge now, Michael, and you have to give credit to Zhu Yuling for stepping up there and not putting herself in a situation that love two down in games.
Like somehow it's a return in the end, and also the fact that she read the length of the service on the last point that we saw on screen there very well, and just attacked. So it's all about keep working, and as we said many times, on the serves. Get in there with the racket, work with backhand, forehand, but keep yourself active.
There's a lot tighter this, the second semi-final. One-way traffic from the first 3 games from Ding Ning, who was absolutely imperious on occasions. This one, a bit more tense, a bit more tight. It's nip and tuck. Zhu continuing to take the game here to her fellow Chinese, and that's good to see. Her confidence is risen. She controlled the flow in that rally.
Exactly. I mean, she's acting more confident now. Her technique is more relaxed, and which means that you get timing the ball better and sort of swinging forehand and quick reaction. So it helps so much, this confidence thing in sports overall and in table tennis specifically.
Well, just about everywhere you go around Düsseldorf, people have come here in their thousands here to support either the German players, of course, secondly, the Asian players as well.
Seems like she caught some new German fans there, holding up a sign, Li Shuvin to win. So a lot of Chinese supporters there, which is nice, and they spread all this youthful enthusiasm with supporting Zhang Yike and the players. What a wonderful thing to do. And why not? A week in Düsseldorf looking at top-class table tennis, not a bad choice.
Well, I expect that in Halmstad next year you'll welcome them all with open arms, Michael.
Absolutely. Fan support is something we really want, and hopefully a lot of people can find their way to the region of Halland and west coast of Sweden.
Pressure. I'm sure the distance between Zhu and the table there is not where she would have liked it to have been.
You have to say both players take a tremendous time also in between rallies, and service placement and everything like this. The tempo is slowly pulled down. They take a lot of... Normally you can take almost 30 seconds. The rule is very relaxed in table tennis, but some players play faster, some play slower, and it's been a tendency in Xu Ling's matches to be slower and slower. She, sort of a thinker, calmly walks down to pick up the ball, doesn't really jog or anything like that, takes a long time. Tried one of these lobbing backhand openers that she had success with against Chen Meng with a few of those shots, although this one was lifted too high.
Just missing the table again, not too far there from Zhu. It's still a semi-final that's looking to spring into life, this one. It's a very, very close one to call.
You would imagine it all comes up to control your nerves and expectations in the end, and of course the pressure is on Li Shuvin. But you have the dominance idea in China in table tennis overall, that it's so important to dominate another player in order to get that mental edge. And let's see who's going to dominate who in the end here.
Well, she's been so consistent with regard to her ranking position for so many years now, Liu Xuwen. Hardly been lower than 3 for so many years now. Sticking touch tight and sticking very close to her at the moment, though, Zhu. It's the kind of game that she wants, really. Oh, well played. Just nudged that up the line as well. Great control. Well, she's not too far now, Liu Shiwen. A couple of points away now from moving ahead again, 2-1. So plenty of game points in hand here for Liu of China. That's the third great piece of serve variation that we've seen. See if she can do it again here.
She is indeed very successful when she's opening a little bit slower with more of spin on the ball, but neutralizes Li Shiwen's backhand just a little bit, and then you have the time to put good placement, good pace on the second ball. So that will be the tactics for Zhu Yuling.
So done and dusted here. Game number 3 has gone the way of the higher ranked player, Liu Shiwen. Moves ahead by 2-1 now in our second semi-final here, day 6 in the women's singles. So good reaction here from Liu Shiwen at the end of that game. And after she returned from her suspension this year in January, she started slowly, but I think she's returning to her very best now. Here we are in June.
Absolutely, and we saw Ding Ning beat Mia Hirano from Japan in the previous semi-final, and she looked in great form. Same goes for Li Shiwen, well prepared. Of course, the Chinese World Championships preparation is well known to be tough and intense and all of that, and the coaches working extremely hard with their individual players, and they put Li Shiwen on track again. So it's going to be very interesting to see whether she can now continue, and it seems like she in the end does have the grip of this match, so far at least.
Well, every game has been very tight so far, so no surprises there. So a chance here for Zhu Yuling now to start all over again, reset. 1-2 down here. What she has to do, just keep her body language nice and positive, keep those shoulders nice and loose. Forehand has worked well on occasions here today. Certainly add to the stress of situation like this. Okay, they've been here many times before, playing up against a fellow Chinese player right at this stage of any competition, finals, semi-finals, but certainly can't help. They know each other's games so well. Perhaps a lot of them are good friends as well.
Oh yes, they practice against each other. They stay together. They participate in team events together and all of that. So there is a rivalry, no doubt, in between these girls. But and who knows what internally in practice matches, what is happening, because that will set the mental edge right there, and sort of. But normally the top players are the top players. Li Shiwen, Ding Ning has been dominating the women's ranks in China and the world, of course, the last few years, and there's an element of experience, of course. It is a World Championships. It is the most important tournament of the year. Usually not so emotional, Zhu Yuling. Keeps kind of a stone face all the time, but there she was up with a fist and showing a little bit of will to win. And if there is a will, there is a way.
Exactamundo. I'm impressed how she's continuing to take the game here to Liu Shiwen. Positive, we just touched upon it earlier on, up against a fellow countrywoman. You don't want to lose the bragging rights. You want to get back into the locker room, look them in the eye. I've got the measure of you. I've beaten you here today, and 4 years the junior of her player here, Liu Shiwen, so she has time on her side, but slowly but surely she wants to improve that ranking position. A career high of 2, of course, for Zhu Yuling. Now, that was achieved in December 2015.
Not happy with that one, but she knew that she backed off too easy and didn't follow through on the return, actually. So just stopped, just hesitated a little bit, and then the ball just too high.
Well, plenty of backhand exchanges again on that rally, of which there have been many. Distance again from both players with regards to the table and the hitting point, and when they want to take the ball as well.
It's,
I took a time about the serve, but it was worth the wait in the end. Lovely change of direction with that backhand. Check this out. Good movement to get onto that. Right into a striking zone in the end.
excuse me for laughing a bit, but just the eyes there trying to catch all kinds of information from the other side. And probably, you know, it can be also you wait to see how they line up before you serve, because that will tell you a little bit of where they want the ball to be put. So counteract that a little bit. Quite fascinating. Because maybe your position is more to the backhand corner or to the middle. So it's kind of a mind game where the service placement, because these two players know each other so well. So any sudden surprise, as we had a service ace from Zhu Yuling or something like that, you pull something that out of the hat, and then it will give you a mental advantage as well.
It is a real battle of the mind, really. Battle of wills and mental strength as well. Both, as you mentioned quite earlier, taking longer and longer to serve now. And we see Liu Shiwen continuously hold up Zhu. Just for that extra precious seconds here, just to give herself some more time to receive.
Even maybe the umpire is trying to...
Well, he's quite within his right to do so, because if 30 seconds is the rule, we're surpassing that with almost every serve now from Liu Shiwen.
Anytime she comes in with her forehand topspin to Yuling, she's going to have a good chance to score points. But it hasn't happened too often because Li Shiwen steers all the returns towards the backhand side, and for sure Su Yuling doesn't want to go around the corner open with forehand. So anytime with the forehand attack, good chance to win the point.
Well, she's had to dig in again here, Zhu Yuling. Fighting so hard every point here. Gold medal chance on the line here in this semi-final. With that now, she's engineered 3 game points. Just caught the edge of the table, or did she? Well, that was on the white line, so Zhu Yuling once again has put herself in contention again here to go on to better things. Still has the 2 game points. And just keeping those legs going. Her energy levels have been good. She's been positive.
We'll be interested to see, because she's been called 2 times now. I don't know exactly for what. Maybe delay of game, or that she has to go to one position first and then be ready.
Oh, how about that? Great piece of improvisation that was from Zhu Yuling. Well, not easy to control, but she made it look so easy in the end. So game on once again here in Düsseldorf. The All Chinese shootout here in our second semi-final has been squared off now at 2 games apiece. So 41 minutes gone already here, and we've got to talk about it again, the length of time with regard that they're both taking to serve. Now, in this situation, you mentioned it in our first semi-final, at this stage, the umpires are a bit more strict. Bit of leniency going on here, in my opinion.
It is important also because now you're reaching this stage, you're playing on 2 tables, you want to flow in the matches, and look at only at the time schedule here. It's a tight time schedule. A lot of matches go through today, and of course the umpiring and refereeing is stepped up as well as the play. So I'm not surprised that they try to manage the match better, and in this case I do believe that they called Li Shiwen on actually going to one position first, and then you had a eye contact, and then she moved to the middle. They may mean that, okay, you take your position to serve, then you serve from that position. And they may correct. I don't know exactly the rule for that, but clearly you cannot play around. I mean, once you're ready to serve, then your opponents get ready, and then you start. But somehow you get a feeling that Su Yuling is playing better and better, getting more positive, jumping up and down a bit, getting into the match. So there's serious chances for her now if she can manage to be tough enough, I think, to step it up and be aggressive. But this is recognized, of course, on the other side, so there was some jumping there too. Good speed.
Lovely hand speed, lovely sharp footwork as well there from Li Shiwen. Used her wingspan there to good effect to get that ball back onto the table too.
Make that 4 straight points. Maybe I'm wrong. No, it was 1-1. But anyway, she's taking command now, and it's so important to answer back for Zhu Yuling.
When she's pushed into a corner, we're seeing her react here, Li Shiwen. Almost needs to be dragged out of her. Lovely use of the table in that point. Coast to coast, very quickly. Well, here we are, game number 5 in this semi-final. Only the first game have we seen any player really race away. And that was Zhu Yuling right at the start. Still went on to lose it in the end. Oh, what a return that was. Brilliant return.
Looking at service direction for Zhu Yuling. She's clearly trying to hit down to Li Shiwen's backhand.
Bit of a different mixture there on the other side of the table, really, just 17%. They're going down the middle a lot as well. It's a high percentage. Traffic going down the middle of the table. You have just tuned into our coverage as well. Zhu Yuling has already used a timeout. The coach is on parade for either player, so Li Shiwen still has a timeout in the bank.
I think in the rallies, Zhu Yuling responding, I should say, much better, because she's there with the racket many times and she's able to save 4, 5, 6, 7 of those rockets, and then adding a little bit of spin to the ball as well. So she puts the pressure on. You see, she's active with the racket, which is great. Last one, she was pulling into the body of Li Shiwen. So looking quite good, I would say, in the rallies now.
You see, it's also margins, isn't it?
It's small margins, and you're a little too late. That sometimes it's very difficult to recover, actually, because Li Shiwen put pressure to the middle, and Zhu Yuling a little bit late, dropped the ball behind the body almost to hit it, and then you sort of lose time and timing.
So much riding on this match. There's a lot of competitiveness going on in that Chinese camp, but we all know about that, male and female, and I think that competitive nature's spilled over onto the table here.
Well, it's interesting also to see, walk around nodding, you know, give her a recognition. I did play that point good, do it again. So that's seriously important to do that, you know, to recognize even if you lost a point. Well, I did the right thing. I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to win 3 out of 4 or something like that.
Best rally of the match so far. Beautiful rhythm, beautiful flow. Li Shuwen looked like she was going to go ahead and put that point to bed earlier. And in the end, it took a winner of 63 kilometers an hour to do so. Not many players would have got that one back, certainly not that backhand.
Oh, finished off with an edge as well.
Oh, that's got to hurt. Player who loses that point. So it's another very, very tense, tight point. More importantly here, after the toweling down, it is Li Shuwen now, who has herself 2 game points for a 3-2 lead.
I have to say she's been quite unlucky on the last few points,朱雨玲. So perhaps a tipping point of the match.
So it's another rally rich in quality to bring the curtain down on the 5th game here on table number 1. And once again, for the 3rd time in this semi-final, Li Shuwen has moved ahead by a solitary game. Wow, that was an intense game again, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure the next one will be as well.
Indeed, but this is typically, you know, I cannot say mentally stronger player or something of that nature, but she was down as well, kept her composure and was more focused in this game, Li Shuwen. And of course, a bit of luck in the end, yes. One on the edge, the next one almost tipping over the net to the other side for朱雨玲, but stopped on her side, and that's it. 10-8. And then the last point.
Well, right off Zhu Yuling at your peril. She's been behind 3 times now. Twice she's reacted and needs another reaction if she's to prolong her activity here and cause what would be perhaps a mini upset to defeat her fellow Chinese. Again, if you didn't know earlier on, Ding Ning won the first semi-final in some style earlier on here today. So she awaits the winner. There's 2 Chinese players. Which ones will it be? We'll go ahead and go for gold in the final. Showed a great deal of stickability in this match, Zhu Yuling. As you said, Michael, it's a test of her mental fortitude, her mental strength as to whether she can tough this out and get herself parity again for the 3rd time. Not easy playing catch-up time and time again against an opponent who has just as much quality as she has.
Good point for Li Shuwen. Managed to open with a forehand, which I like in her game sometimes, that she gets so stuck in this backhand to backhand game that she forgets she has a very, very good forehand. And the opening shots from forehand is something that she really can improve on.
Oh, we can see the self-motivation there for Liu Shuwen. Clenched fist, just getting herself motivated for the task ahead.
That's what we say with, that's what we mean as coaches with activity. Now, there was a first attack, you were eager to do it, you went in with your forehand. And again, but missed that one, but just recognize it. Yeah, you did the right thing, do it next time.
A couple of big points played here. So easily could have been 4-1 just a few moments ago. 3 points apiece, and tight measures just continue and spill over into every game here.
And we also got rewarded with a jog down to pick up the ball from朱雨玲, so now she's on her toes.
What a change-up that was. Brilliant change of direction. Normal service resumed in that last rally from her side of the table. Too hard to keep the ball back in the rally there, just having to adjust the shape of her body. Once she was set again, well, there was no stopping her.
Yeah, getting involved with her forehand topspin much more now, Lee Shi-wen. And that gets your footwork going as well. So it's a very important thing actually to remind any player about, to get your forehand going. Because backhand is more a balanced thing. Forehand, you need to move around, you need to get more space, and then you become more active with your footwork.
Well, both players are working so hard to get a foothold in every single rally. That's how close it is. Well, it's a good serve, first of all, there from Lee Shi-wen, but she couldn't capitalise on that. So after being behind, albeit by a point here or there, a couple of points on occasions,朱雨玲now has moved ahead for 2 points of her own. And more importantly, she has a service point to come. She has 2. Gets these service points on the money. Well, this game is as good as hers. Well, she didn't. She had to pack those 2 points, and she's lost them both. Kind of stress there in the body of Zhu. You can see that clearly.
Yeah, all about the service direction, which wasn't of best quality again, and just drifted long, and Lee Shi-wen was able to attack on it. So it was not the outcome she wanted, not the execution of service that was needed.
Down the middle from both players, but in the end, just that change again from Zhu.
Yep, that one was a surprise, but that's exactly what you need now. You need to come with something, and what a nice twist of the wrist.
Yeah, just leaned into it, didn't she?
Got the perfect touch and the perfect placement. oi, oi, oi.
Oh, fantastic effort.
Really stepping it up. Fantastic forehand. And what an active backhand game from朱雨玲.
Oh, look at that winner. That is brilliant. So easy on the eye. 2 points ahead a few moments ago. Dropped 2 service points. Just creeping slowly but surely towards the line now. 9-7. Oh, back comes Liu again, just refusing to lie down here.
But I recall also yesterday朱雨玲against Chen Meng. She kind of struggled in the end to find the best possible serve. And it's something like this similar. Last 3 serves, maybe not quality enough.
Shake of the head there from Liu Shiwen. The Chinese supporters behind Zhu Yuling would have been buoyed. They'd be absolutely delighted to see that she's toughed out this game. 2 points now from taking this game the distance.
She found something there. She's been going deep to Li Shiwen's forehand. The last few winners, so that's a good placement for her. You see, she almost showed that she wanted to do that backhand flick over the table and then net service and well placed and a little bit to the right side. All those tricks. They have a few tricks in the bags.
Well, right at this end as well. Why not? That's confidence, isn't it? That's why she's world ranked number 2. A couple of game points against her.
They pulled the card?
I didn't see that actually, but I think he just had a few words with her.
Oh,
well done here to Zhu Yuling. Again, she showed a great deal of stickability. She stuck around here to opponent just slightly higher up in the food chain with her in the semi-final. Number 2 here in the women's singles part of the main draw in Düsseldorf is going the distance into a deciding game. 11-9 here in the favour of Zhu Yuling. So there's absolutely nothing to choose between the 2 players here. Game on here in our second semi-final. It was all one way in the favour of Ding Ning in the first. Well, this one, absolutely nothing to choose between the pair. Every single game has been so tight. There's been a real battle between 2 players, giving absolutely nothing towards their opponent. Nothing but respect, but it could come down to mental strength. It could come down to who is the braver of the 2 players.
Oi, 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 oi. My God.
It was absolutely amazing. Well, what a rabbit to pull out the hat here in the final game. Let's enjoy this again on the replay. Fantastic effort.
You came asking for some braveness, and you got it right away.
Well, that's what's going to happen here, because it's been very, very, very tight. Nothing to choose. A cigarette paper, in fact. It's been that thin. But whoever can be brave, fortune favours the brave, as we know, and I think it could come down to that. And if that's going to be the remainder of what we see in this final game, well, bring it on.
Oh, what a good backhand opener also. That was a confidence builder, that long rally, to get that under your belt and scoring points. And then here Li Xuan cut the ball down to backhand. Quick, decisive, strong backhand opener from Su Yuling.
Well, if anybody tuned in to witness this match expecting an easy ride here for Li Xuan, it's been anything but. It certainly would have hurt Zhu Yuling not making the side for the Rio Olympics last year. She was one of the backup players, one of the reserves. She's got to use that as an incentive to try and get herself up into #2 in the ranking position, I believe. First things first, if she can get through this game, get through this match, get herself in contention for the gold, that's a real tick in the box for her.
I love that. I love the touch on the wrist, and now she's to relax. She's confident. What a nice, smooth touch on the ball from Su Yuling.
Big point, huge point, looking to reduce the arrears here, Liu Xuan. The shoulder slump there, she makes her way back to the towel. After a fairly lengthy rally, you've got to get that point.
Just activity with the racket from Su Yuling is what's making those points in the end, because you kick a little bit of overspin into the ball, and it makes it very hard for Li Xuan to get over the ball and sort of punch it down. So you get a fraction of time to react, and that's exactly what she's needing, because her forehand technique is a little slower sometimes. And there you go, Swedish 3 crowns on the racket too.
Well, there you go, a Swedish logo there on the edge of the paddle, and a Swede in a commentary box here. Now, she's waited a long time here to use her timeout. Now, I think it's a good decision at 1-5 here, because the flow from the lady to the left of our screen was just absolute near perfection. So that's a good call, I think, to do so from Li Xuan.
Yeah, and there's a Japanese there. We don't have any Japanese in the commentating box, but 2 people living in Sweden, actually. So that's, I don't know, what's probably... couldn't figure out who had that racket, though. But we have no stake in this other than enjoying the match.
Oh, she had to take the first point very quickly here, Liu Xuan, fresh from the timeout. Now, there's so many questions towards Zhu Yuling now. Can she maintain this standard all the way to the end of this game? But she's been fearless, really.
All of a sudden, they're getting rewarded quite easily now, and I think Li Xuan has digged quite the deep hole for herself.
Well, she is in a deep hole, and she has a lot of confidence in her ability. We're going to need to see that now, because this is the biggest chasm points-wise we've seen either player throughout the entire match. Well, too many unforced errors. She's tighter than a violin string at the moment here, Li Xuan. Anything but from Zhu Yuling. Her tail's up, she's confident. Well, this is her match to lose now, 8 points to 1. Well, you've got to give her so much credit. She was the underdog coming into this semi-final encounter. She's 2 points away from giving herself a chance for a gold medal here in Düsseldorf. Signs of duress. She's tight. She's very, very lacking in confidence at the moment here, Lia Xinwen, and that is clear to see as the day is long. Couple of points now from victory.
Well, started with those forehand rockets in this game number 6, I think, where she really found her forehand topspin, scored a couple of great rallies and scored towards Lia Xinwen's forehand side, and kind of the turnaround mentally too for Zhu Yuling. She's been on top of her game absolutely since the end of game number 6.
Just hasn't got going in this game, Lia Xinwen, at all. Well, what a moment this is for Zhu Yuling, up against their fellow Chinese, one of the best decorated players on the tour in China. Lia Xinwen is in a spot of trouble here with 8 match points against her. Ahead almost in the locker room there. Just going to finish that point off very early with the big forehand. Just needs to cast her mind back to the opening game here, Zhu Yuling. Yes, the lead wasn't as healthy as this, but it was a game that she should have taken. She had 4 game points disappear. Let's not forget that. Focus. She's just got to calm down here. Yes, it's easy for us to sit up here and say so, but that's exactly what she has to do, really. Still in a very good situation, mind.
Yeah, a bit of drama. Important serve, I would say.
Well, finally, it's over. Relief here for Zhu Yuling. What a victory we've just seen her in our second semi-final. Behind throughout the entire match, but in the end, she reeled off back-to-back games to wrap up victory here, and she will ply her trade in the final against their fellow Chinese, the well-ranked #1, the top seed, Ding Ning, Zhu Yuling, the victorious player here, up against a higher-ranked player, Lia Xinwen. Will probably feel slightly disappointed in the end that she couldn't wrap up this match in the end, Michael.
For sure, she is not a player that likes to lose by any means, and of course against a teammate that she knows, but there's a lot of rivalries and a lot of gains from winning important matches, and but I believe Zhu Yuling worked with her game all the time. She was there, she changed what she had to do. She scored those winners against Lia Xinwen's forehand side a few times, and I think that was the turnaround.
So, congratulations it is to Zhu Yuling of China. The #3 seed is into the final. So once again, for the umpteenth time, we'll see an all-Chinese shootout here in the women's singles final in Düsseldorf for the gold and the silver medal. With regards to Lia Xinwen, well, she will have to make do with a bronze medal here in 2017. So for myself, Errol Creary, in the commentary booth alongside Michael Anderson, we'll say goodbye. Stick around because Johnny Cowell, no doubt, will interview the victorious Zhu Yuling here of China. Also